Hello, we are going to be going over now Vocabulary Unit 2 for your Vocab Unit. So just like the last Vocabulary Unit, you're going to get these words. As I go through them, you should make sure to write them down somewhere. You can either record them on a vocabulary app or in a notebook or on flashcards, but make sure you get the words written down and the definitions written down because you will have activities in class later based on these words, and then you will have a quiz in about a week. So, the first word is amicable. Alright, and we can see here we've got a picture of a cat and a dog being very friendly, and also a parrot on top of the dog's head. They all seem to be getting along quite well. That's because amicable is an adjective, and the definition is peaceable or friendly. Amicable comes from Latin. Amicus literally means friend, the same way amigo means friend in Spanish. So amicable means able to be friends, is what it literally would translate to. So friendly or peaceable, able to be friends. So congenial, neighborly, and here you go. That's amicable. Next word is averse. Alright, this too is an adjective. We can see the girl in the picture here making a very unhappy face about whatever green glob is on her plate. Right? And this is because averse means having a deep-seated distaste, opposed, unwilling. It doesn't necessarily mean distaste as in, with your tongue, but it means something that you do not want to do. If there's something that you really do not want to do, that means that you are averse to doing that thing. So, as an example, many students are averse to doing their homework. Other people are averse to waking up early. The next one is belligerent, and we see here we've got a picture of the cast of Jersey Shore. Right? But belligerent, believe it or not, does not mean drunk. Belligerent is an adjective here meaning given to fighting, warlike, combative, or aggressive. It can also be a noun referring to someone who is at war. You could say a person is a belligerent person, or they simply are a belligerent. And this comes from the Latin root belli, which means war. We see it in words like rebellion, right, or belligerent, or bellicose, which actually just means belligerent in an even snootier sounding way. Alright. And then, so make sure you got down belligerent, and belligerent means warlike or given to fighting. So you could say Snooky from the Jersey Shore gets very belligerent when she is drunk. Now our next word is cursory. Alright. It sounds like cursive, but it is not. Alright. Cursory means hasty, not thorough, or quick and superficial. Alright. So if I, for example, gave your homework a cursory glance before failing you, that would mean, excuse me for that, that would mean I was not doing my job because I didn't look at it very closely. I just skimmed it over very quickly. Next word is feasible. Alright. This is an adjective. And it means possible, able to be done. So some things are feasible, some things are not feasible. So for a long time, people thought that landing a man on the moon was not feasible, but we now know that landing a man on the moon is feasible because we have done it. And so some examples are, making honor roll. For any of you, this is very early in the year, so for all of you, making the honor roll is still feasible. All right, graduating high school is feasible. Next word is grimace. A grimace, you can see the facial expression of the man in this picture. That is a grimace there. A grimace is a wry face, a facial distortion to make a wry face, and it is this sort of weird, painful look that he has on his face. That is a grimace. All right, it sometimes happens when, for example, you stub your toe, it might cause you to grimace, or if you hear something unpleasant, you might grimace. Okay. Alright, so that is a grimace. Alright, the next word here you should all know from last year, and that is Holocaust. All right. So we talked last year about the Holocaust, but what we were with a capital H, right? And that was what happened between 1938 and 1945 in Germany, where they killed the Jews and other undesirables. But what we're discussing here is a Holocaust, lowercase h, and that means any large-scale destruction, especially by fire. And so the Holocaust is an example of a Holocaust. Other examples would be the World Trade Center would be a Holocaust because that was a large-scale destruction, or the bombing of Hiroshima, that would be a Holocaust. Alright, word here is jeopardy, like the game show, and jeopardy is a noun meaning danger, right? So we talk about if you do not do your homework, it puts your grades in jeopardy. It puts your grades in danger. Risks them. The equivalent here, the reason for the show would be that on the show Jeopardy, every time you answer, if you get it wrong, you can lose the money that you had already earned. So that means that you're taking a risk, you're putting yourself in jeopardy by trying to answer. Okay. And the next word is meticulous. Meticulous sort of means the opposite of that word cursory. Right, so meticulous means extremely careful, particular about details. It means you're not going to be cursory about anything. You're going to pay very close attention, right, and make sure everything is exactly the way you want it to be. So on the TV show Monk, the character is very meticulous. He pays attention to lots of detail. Some people with obsessive compulsive disorder might be very meticulous, but meticulous can be a good thing. You know, if you have a maid who cleans your hotel room, you would like her to be meticulous. You would like her to pay attention to lots of details and not miss things. And scrutinize, again, it's related to meticulous, and this is really connected on the opposite end to the word cursory. Scrutinize is a verb. It means to examine closely. Right, so when I get a essay from you, I will scrutinize it. I will look at it very, very closely, make sure I catch everything. I will not be cursory with it. Instead, I will scrutinize it, and I will be meticulous. And that's it. So feel free to rewind this video if you need to go back and write down the definitions of any words you missed. And good luck on your assignments.